guys, and welcome back to another Unfiltered Gamer board game review. Today's game up on the tabletop is Unearth. Unearth is by Brotherwise Games for 2 to 4 players, about 30 to 60 minutes for ages 8 and up. Now you might know of the game Boss Monster by these guys, and this is the second game they've been made, and it came out released, I believe, right around Gen Con here. And in the game, you're playing as delvers in a post-apocalyptic world. Basically, the wonders of the past world have been left behind, and now we're trying to once again rediscover them. Now, you're going to be doing that, searching different ruins, as well as picking up stones, using your different delver dice, and you're going to have elders and basic delvers and stuff like that, to roll on these ruins. And you're going to either obtain stones, or the highest die will obtain the ruin cards themselves. If you get stones, you can build certain things like wonders, and there's greater wonders and lesser wonders, as well as obtaining these scorecards to give you more bonus points at the end. You're going to be drawing different delver cards that will let you do different things, such as the next d6 you roll this turn gets +2, or you may choose where to place your excavation roll after you roll, and other such things like that. Anyway, that's the basis of this little game, and let me show you what it looks like. So here we have the game of Unearth, and what do you get in it? Well, first of all, you get a big stack of these ruin cards. You're also going to get different wonders, and these are all named, as well as greater wonder cards and a couple other things just right here. These are actually the ones that show you how to obtain the greater ones. You're going to get scoring cards, as well as a turn order card, and you're going to get this nice fancy little rulebook, which is beautiful, just wonderful art. I love the feel of this game, jeez. Also going to get delver die. You're going to get excavators, overseers, and the basic ones here. These right here represent the wonders you're going to be getting that you'll be building throughout the game. Over here are your delver cards that'll let you do different actions throughout the game. A nice little linen bag, as well as a bunch of different stones that will be grabbed out of random and placed on the ruins. And that is pretty much it, other than the wonderful little box with a very, very nice insert. Very, very nice. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a setup tutorial of how to do the game, and it's fairly simple. First of all, everybody is going to get one of these ruins cards. So if we were playing a 4-player game, everybody would get one of those. You're going to randomly select one of these guys, so just go ahead and shuffle them, and pick one, and set it aside, the rest go away. Then you're going to take 5 ruins out of the deck and remove them. Shuffle, make sure these are all shuffled, and place this one here at the bottom of the deck. Afterwards, you're going to get every single player 2 of these delver cards. Make sure the decks are shuffled. Everybody is going to obtain these die. So you're going to get this one, and they're going to get this one, and so on and so forth. If you're playing a 4-player game, everybody will get a turn order card, which is also a scoring card. You're going to set aside greater and lesser wonders, and then you're going to also take these even more special wonders, and you get 2 of them plus the number of players. In this case, it would be 6. These go away, and then you're going to reveal them. Move these aside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you're going to select the appropriate different colored tiles here and put them on top just like this, and then move the rest of them away. Move this up, and you're going to then take 5 of these ruin cards and place them face up on the table. And then you're going to give ruins for each of the cards. And it tells you on the bottom right-hand corner how many of these to put down. You can just take them randomly from the bag, just like this. Oop. And 2, and then 2 more. After that, you're going to select a first player, and the game is ready to begin. Now we're ready to begin the game and give a couple turns so you can see an example of how play works. The first thing you do is select any player you want to go first, for whatever reason you want, and we're going to go with green to start. And the first thing you do is play any delver cards you would like and resolve them during this phase. This player could use the next d6 rolled this turn, gets +2, or choose a number, re-roll the dice showing that number. Or reroll all dice showing that number. Now, they would have to be represented here on these ruins to do that specific card. So if he didn't want to play these cards, he could simply move on. Now, however, you're going to be claiming these runes when you pop this number. And that means if this is a 13 and you have die equivalent to 14 on here, or let's do an easier one like 9, for instance. If he had played all of these in 3 turns, so first turn 4, second and third turn 4, this would be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and on this die it would pop the 9, and he would gain this specific rune here. And if that were to happen, he's going to acquire points at the end of the game. So whenever something is popped, it could happen during the main Delver phase in which you're playing cards, because you can increase the value or re-roll the value of certain die on the board. Now, if you don't want to do that or don't have any die on the board to do so, you're going to go to the excavation phase, which is where you declare any of the die you have to roll. And then after you do that, you just declare which rune you would like to have it rolled on. So for instance, I could choose the 6, or I could choose a 4, or simply an 8. Now the difference is if I roll a 1 through a 3, I get to take a rune off of the specific... I get to take a rune off of the specific ruin that I land on. And that would give me any of the colors I wanted, because I'm going to be trying to make wonders, and here are the wonders right here. So, certain ones require have specific requirements. For instance, this one requires 3 of the same color and 3 more of the same color in a hexagonal shape, and this is all the same color. This is black, red, turquoise, and yellow, and so on and so forth. So when you roll a 1 through a 3, if I were to have rolled a 1 and placed it here, I could take this black or this turquoise one, and I could put it down over here somewhere, and I would start to make a tableau of sorts in where I'm trying to make hexagonal spaces. Not only that, but if these guys were not here and they were collected by some other players in certain turns, I could simply draw from the bag randomly and pull one just like that. So that being said, another option is obviously rolling higher than a 3, which is a 4, 5, or a 6. And the objective is obviously when you claim these spaces, the person who has the highest die roll is actually the one who's going to claim it. So if this was a 6 and everybody else had lower numbers, or maybe the next person rolled a 4, or a 5, I should say, to pop this, he would win. The green would win because he would have 6 and collect this card face down for scoring at a later point in the game. So just for a turn, he simply rolls a die, has a 3, he will place it maybe on something bigger on this one, and he will take a yellow. After he does that, he then checks to see if the ruin he rolled on has been claimed, and nope, it hasn't, so it's good, and play would pass to the left. So in this instance, it would go to this player, and they would choose any die they want. Now, obviously, these dies are smaller and bigger, and depending on what you want to roll is what you're going to pick. So, for instance, if you want to roll a 1 through a 4, likely a 1 through 3, you would roll this little small guy, and if you wanted to roll a higher number to try and score on these ruins here, you would roll the big guy here. So we'll just go ahead and stick with this one. He rolled a 6. Now, he could play Delver cards. Usually it's during the Delver phase. Actually, always during the Delver phase, so before you even would roll this, he would choose. Re-roll a die, already on a ruin, so that wouldn't work anyway, and you may choose where to place your excavation roll after you roll. So, oh well, he didn't play those, so he can't do that, but those are things he could have played. He could put this right here on this, and that would guarantee he's going to beat green for this space. If 17 ever goes past 17, goes to 18. And the next player would go, and it would keep going just like that, either playing the Delver cards before you roll, or simply rolling the die and placing them where you want. 1 through a 3 is going to give you a stone from here, or you're going to pull one from the bag if there is not one. If you pop any of these guys, you take them. And if you create certain tableau spaces, so for instance, let me go ahead and move this aside so you can see what I mean. If, for instance, the green has collected 3 of these guys right here, 3 yellows, and collected 3 reds, and made this on his tableau, which is just simply right next to him, wherever he wants to place it, he would have 3 of the same, 3 of the same, and he would simply be able to claim this Palace of Relics. He'd place this right in the middle, it would show how much it was worth, which is 6 points, and it would tell you what it does here. This wonder is worth 6 points. He could also try and claim lesser wonders or greater wonders, 6 to 8 points here and 2 to 4 points, and they're random, or as well as other ones here. But that's the idea of the game, and you would keep going, and as he collected more things, he would just simply place them like this. The game is going to progressively move on from there, with turns going to the left, and you're going to be collecting the ruins. Every time you get a ruin, you're going to place a new ruin out, and every time you collect a ruin and there's still the different stones on it, you're going to remove those and put them back into the bag and just score this. Now, the game is going to be over after this entire deck has been played on the board and all of the ruins have been claimed. After all of the ruins have been claimed, the scoring process begins. And scoring is pretty simple. You're going to get these ruins here and place them face down, and you're trying to collect like cards. And when you do that, you're going to gain points. So if you get a pair of the same color, you're going to get 2. If you get, if you get a pair, you get 6. If you get trips, you get 12. Quads, you get 20. And pentas, you get 30. You also can gain 5 points by collecting 5 different color types of the different ones. So like this one, blue, green, so on and so forth. You can get 5 points there. As well as getting 5 bonus points for collecting 3 or more wonders, which are just these little guys here. Not only that, but you're also going to get bonus points from lesser and greater wonders, as well as sometimes from the named wonders, and they range in value, like I was saying. After that, you just add up all those numbers, and the player with the highest score is the winner of the game, Unearth. All right, well, let me tell you what I think about Unearth. This game, hands down, amazing. Brotherwise Games did an amazing job at this game. I am so impressed with it. I kept playing it over and over again, and as I continued to play it, I enjoyed it more and more. What's great about this game is you have so many options, and while there is luck in the die rolls, you have the choice of what type of die to roll, and when to roll them, and how you can get them back as you're playing them. So cool. The Delver dice are cool too. Delver cards are cool too, because you're going to be playing them prior to actually rolling dice or doing anything, which could potentially help you or potentially hinder you depending on how you play them. So it has a lot of that unique strategy. Also, whenever you're trying to claim these ruin cards here and you don't manage to do so, you're going to gain Delver cards for all the die that are on here that are yours that do not score. So that is another cool thing as well. So even though you start losing, you're going to gain these things, which are so useful and can help you get back in the game real quick. The game scoring is always very close with this, and you always feel like the game's potentially in your grasp. I also like the fact that you have these named ruins, and they're going to do different things for you. Like, for instance, you may re-roll your rolls of 4 or 5. This wonder is worth 2 points. Re-rolling 4s and 5s is amazing if you want to start getting those stones. This one here, the Crumbling Memorial. Look at the runes that were removed from the game and choose one to add to your hand, and add to your hidden scoring. Ooh, super cool. Just the ones that aren't even in the game you get to take. The Obelisk, we'll look at another one here. When an opponent builds a wonder, you may draw a stone from the bag. Pretty good, especially in a 4-player game, right? And also, there's so many more. There's so much replayability in this game too, because you have so many extra different wonders and the different things they do, as well as the last cards in the ruins, like the big ruins, -1 to all die roll for the rest of the game. So they actually bring in this extra, even more unique aspect to the game. Component quality is excellent. It's just all meshes. The color scheme works. Everything feels right about this game. The scoring card is easy to understand. The turn order, you could almost learn how to play the game just off of this little thing right here. But not only that, the setting up and everything is pretty simple once you go through it once or twice. I really don't have much to say negative about this game. I mean, there is a little bit of a take that aspect, and sometimes you're not going to do the best just because of pure luck with the die roll. Maybe you're always rolling low and you want to roll high, but really it's almost your own fault in that aspect. For Unearth, I'm going to give it my seal of approval for sure. One of my favorite games I've gotten for all of these new release games, and I'm definitely going to keep this one on my shelf.